What up? What up? Is Alex back in the house? What up?
And it is I who shall remain nameless.
Yeah. Yeah. And we are rocking. It's just us two tonight. Nelly Nell, he's been on a crazy shooting schedule lately. So he said he'll be back next week.
Top secret.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you gotta say what it is, but
okay.
You know, we could. I mean, you know, he's in the biz. He's in the biz. And shout out to everyone who's up in the chat right now. See, Marty is up in the chat. See a few other people watching, but no one leaving comments yet. Shout out to the crew. Today, we are breaking down The Harder They Fall, 2021 release. This one's a Netflix movie. Now it was premiered at the BFI London Film Festival in 2021. And that was
very
prior to being released on Netflix.
All right.
And I must say, this is a star-studded cast. I mean, the budget on this movie was 90 mil. No small budget. And it's crazy because the actors, even though it is a star-studded cast, I mean, a lot of actors and actresses, you might not remember their names, but you know them from something. Head up by
the names of the characters they're famous for.
Hell yeah. Head up by Idris Elba. Man, such a G in this movie. What up, Crispy?
Rufus
Buck.
Hell
yeah. And this is your first time watching it. And you said, like, if you just put on a random movie.
It was funny too, bro.
Let's hear it.
What?
What was funny? The movie or what?
Yeah, it was funny. Like it was like there was like, you know me, I laugh at like shit. Watch, I'll bring a few times up. That shit was funny to me, man. Like
classic stuff, man. Classic stuff.
Yeah, and right out the gate, I gotta say, very Tarantino-esque. Probably one of the best like Tarantino ripoff, like, and I don't want to say it's a Tarantino ripoff, but stylistically with the, even as far as like taking actual historic figures and then, making a fictional story with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because when I went down the little rabbit hole, like the little 30 minutes before we started the show, just like, because I was like, oh shit, they're actual based on real people.
Yeah.
Loosely, I guess.
Well, yeah. I mean, do we have any documentation, from the 1800s or whenever this happened? Like, probably not. But yeah, I mean, even at the beginning of the movie, these people existed. Like, that's the first like tagline of the movie. And this is just one of those ones. I mean, it just starts you off on just out of nowhere. You have no idea what's going on. Just seems like a happy-go-lucky family, and pops up on the screen. Right. Well, actually, right before the happy-go-lucky family. Yeah, that's where it says. While these events are fictional, these people existed, flashing all over the screen.
Yeah.
And it's crazy how way back when it was like, there's no houses like next to each other or anything. Like every time you see a house, it's like hella far from anywhere else. So you see this house and there's just nothing around it. See a little kid. Dad and a mom. That's it. Just looks like a regular ass family till they get the knock at the door. And the dad,
he's there with his gang too.
Yeah, and you don't really see it right away. You really just see just one person who walks in behind Rufus Buck. You don't even know who he is. But the dad looks like he has seen a ghost. He's shitting himself when he sees Rufus Buck. Yeah. And
because he knows Rufus is there doing death's business.
He is the devil.
He's the death dealer. The Grim Reaper himself. That's what they called him, right?
Yeah. Just walks in.
They called him that. Oh, no, they called Nat that, right?
Yeah. Uh-oh, there we go. Crispy said, give me the phone.
Gotta get down with the get down.
So the dad, he looks like he's seen a ghost. Like he doesn't even know what's going on. Like Rufus just kind of pushes his way in there. Nothing. Everything's cool, calm and collected with him. Like, I mean, there's no rushing, like there's no nothing. Everyone just can't take their eyes off of him. He pulls out the gold pistols, throws them right on the table there. Nobody knows what's going on either. I mean, except the dad. Of course, he knows what's going on. He points his guns right at the kid and the wife first. The dad's right in front of him, right at the head of the table. He points the gun right at them first. Oh man, the dad is your quarrels with me.
He's like, let's go continue this outside. It's with me.
And he doesn't do anything fast. He slowly moves both of those guns over to the wife, executes her. He's pissed, rushes after him, boom, executes him just like that. The kid, this little kid, I don't know, 9, 10 years old, whatever he is, freaking the hell out. Freaking the hell out.
And it's fucked up because, like, later, I mean, like when I watched it the second time and then finally saw the ending, because the first time I watched it, I didn't watch it fully. And you're like, oh shit. You know what I mean? Because it just brings you back to like, yeah, he put Brad through the same shit.
It's wild, man. It is wild. And yeah, Noble Creations. Poor mom's totally innocent. Totally is. I mean, that was the only way that he could really get back at the dad. The way that he got at him.
Shout out to young Noble.
Yeah, we're going to learn a lot about this backstory of what happens right here. It just throws you right into it. And the last thing that he does is he pretty much cuts a little cross.
Yep,
right into the young forehead. Yeah, right into the young kid's forehead. And the cross just symbolizes so many things throughout the movie. Just keep seeing the cross.
I mean, it's kind of like also like, listen, man, it's almost like he marked him because he said he's sparing him.
Yeah.
Like, right? But also, just in case later on when this motherfucker's balls drop and he got some facial hair and he don't recognize him, he's gonna see that motherfucking carving. You know, he's like, oh shit, it's you.
That scar, you gotta remember
it's you.
And so, I mean, that's all we get of like the backstory of this movie. We have no idea like what's going on. Next thing, and it's just sometime later in Salinas, Texas, just some random church. This it's crazy how even back then, even the priests were gangsters trying to just trying to go in and muscle up. He's like, hey, this comes into the church. That coin shipment's running a little late. What's going on? He doesn't know who's there though. Because the dude who's there, he's kind of like kneeled down, almost looks like he's praying or something. Looks like it could be the father there. But then he turns around, gets up, and oh, man. Now we got a little bit of a standoff going.
Yeah, a Mexican standoff right there in the middle of Texas. Hold on, let me grab a lighter.
Yep. Yeah, and this was I want to hear what Bogey's thoughts about this first scene was, because it was totally out of nowhere. And you see the shady pastor or whatever. I mean, he comes in like definitely like out of nowhere, and just the reaction that he has when it's not the priest that's in there. And he's like, oh man, because you know that he's just been punking that other priest. And now he knows that there's going to be some hell to pay. And he calls him like the scorpion or something, calls him out by it. Dude has a scorpion tattoo like all over his hand. What up, Alex? And then he takes off his hat, reveals the cross that's there, and pretty much calls him out for everything that he's done along the way. And it's time to draw. Now it's time to get to fighting. And real quick, goes real slow as far as when they're about to do when they're about to draw, and then that's when it just gets real crazy. Pulls out, cocks it, and it's just everything is so exaggerated when he's being shot. It's like he's being shot in the shoulder. It's like and then being shot again, and like almost falls back, and then one more time and fully just like up in the air, and he still shoots him one more time for good measure before he comes all the way down onto the ground and rips the I don't even know what that is, but like the priest necktie or like whatever, rips that off of him. tells the priest of the local church, whichever one he's in, that he can come out now, and he tells him, take this guy take him into the sheriff. Get it's like $4,000 or $5,000. Get that for your church. Like, why don't you do it? And he responds, because I'm worth 10. He's a bigger gangster. And now we get a little bit of an insight into old Nathaniel Love. Nat Love is what he goes by. And yeah, he's kind of like, he's I mean, it's almost like he's the Batman of cowboys, is like what I got out of this. Like, he's an outlaw, like, for sure, but he's out there trying to do some good bidding as well. And then he just kind of rides off into the sunset. And we're still very confused on like what is going on. We have no idea, except now we know that this kid, Nat Love, and the reason we even know his name, we don't even know his name. It comes up in the credits because nobody even says his name or like anything like that before then. What up, Bakes? We just got in to The Harder They Fall right now. And I want to hear, Bogey said he was going to find a lighter. I want to hear his thoughts on this opening scene, because it was a good one and completely out of nowhere. And then right after that, we're going to meet the Crimson Gang. And right after their little bank robbery. Here he goes. All right, so I want to hear, what was your thoughts, Bogey? I'm not knowing anything about the movie. You know, you see that opening scene. What were your first thoughts about the very first scene when we see Nat Love grown?
Like revenge. He's out for some kind of revenge. You know what I mean? You know, obviously, you know, you could assume he had a crazy upbringing, no parents. You know what I mean? He's obviously thugged out, running with a gang. You know what I mean? The Nat Love gang.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean. And then we don't even know who the Ezra character is yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you kind of, and then obviously Jonathan Majors. I mean, it's crazy because this movie would probably be way bigger than it was, but he had all that shit going on with him in the past year.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean, with all because he's like major right now. I think he even had like a movie where like it was supposed to be like nominated for an Oscar, and then they removed the nominations for it. Okay. Like, it's really bad for him right now. Otherwise, I swear, you know what I mean? Because he's super badass in this one too. Like, I love the acting in this movie.
And who are you talking about?
I'm talking about Nat's Jonathan Majors' character.
Okay.
Yeah, because you're talking about Nat, right? When he first grew up. Yeah, when he first saw him growing up. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and you're just like, okay. And for me, it amazes me too, because it's like I feel like this is even though this is probably how it really happened, like, cowboys were black or Mexican and stuff like that. Like, it's just, because we're used to like the whitewashed version of it. And then so in my mind, I would just assume like the black people were just very scarce and far in between because it was still very segregated. But the flip side is that it's like, if you're out there outlawing it, bro, you got to be one of the baddest motherfuckers just because you aren't white. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
On top of that.
That's for sure.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And then, man, we meet this Crimson Gang in the second scene, pretty much like the opening scene. Mm-hmm. And I mean, this Crimson Gang, I mean, we don't even know they're called the Crimson Gang until later, but they got the little crimson little hoods on their head or whatever.
The red hood gang or something like that is what they call them. Or the Crimson Gang, yeah.
Crimson, yeah. And man, they just got them like scouted from like up in the rocks, like hell up in the rocks. Dude's got the long rifle, just blast them out of nowhere. I mean, they're taking down a whole gang just because they got the position on them. There was only 3 of them, I think, is what there was. Maybe two or 3 of them. And they took out this whole Crimson Gang. And the main, like, you remember the guy who lives out of all those Crimson Gang dudes? The one who, he's there right at the end. He, like, pulls the gun out of his boot, like a little small one. You remember that guy? And he comes in later in the Stagecoach and all that and gives more info.
Yep.
That's Damon Wayans' son.
Oh, word?
Yeah.
Right.
Damon Wayans Jr. Yep. Yeah, and after I realized that, then you look at his face and you can kind of see it, but, definitely blending in You know, you don't even really realize it.
I mean, they probably would have had like more. I feel like this movie was supposed to have like Don Cheadle and like who's the dude that played Black Panther?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
Chadwick
they actually
Boseman.
had Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did have. I forget exactly. Man, I should have
like a tribute to him or something.
Yeah. There's multiple tributes
Because he
to.
had just died in real life.
Yeah, and especially like a lot of these actors from London and you know from England and all that, and so like he was one of their peeps, that's for sure. And Beck's had never seen it. Sounds good. It's super good. You got it. It's on Netflix. It's on Netflix.
Yeah, super badass movie.
And TS said the first time I learned about Majors was from this movie. I mean, it's real good. It's real good in this movie.
Yeah, first time I heard him, he was in that Loki series, and like you know, I knew the name because like I knew he was gonna play Kang, and like Kang's like a big major baddie in Marvel. So that's a big role. Like, oh shit! And then you know, it was kind of gonna make his career, and like and it was like obviously the Creeds, and the he started doing all these other, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
because Michael B. Jordan was kind of the other guy on the come up. You know what I mean?
Yep, that's for sure. But yeah, real nice opening scene, opening two scenes with there and Damon Wayans Jr. This motherfucker, like he's like, you don't even know who you're stealing from.
Yeah, bro, they run around. That's right, because that was the Lucci from one of the Roscoe the Roscoe gangs, right? Or Roscoe, what's his name, bro? The Rufus gang.
Rufus gang. Yeah. And so they said that half of the money was supposed to be going to them, pretty much. I mean, Rufus just has his hand in every gang. That's how bad of a motherfucker he is. Like, you want to pull a crime anywhere on these United States, you got to pay homage to the Rufus Button gang, and that's pretty much what was happening.
Yeah.
And, so he's like laughing at him and shit. They let him live though. They let him live, I think, because they wanted him to know who robbed him. Like that's the thing. Like
because that's how you get it around, the word of mouth. Back then, you need to have somebody to go run and tell a story. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because even we don't know anything about Rufus Buck right now. When we start getting into the next scenes, when we get back to Nat Love, he's riding into Douglasville and he goes into the Mary Stagecoach. Then we start hearing a little bit more about Rufus Buck and how he's about to be locked up in Arizona, until the end of time and all that shit. We get a little bit more of the backstory of what's going on with him. Man, the scene in the Stagecoach was really dope though. Everything. Just the song, everyone's carrying on. And I just imagine, I don't even know how many years they're really removed from slavery, in this, but like, man, this is just like, man, a whole bunch of free motherfuckers having fun. I mean, they're throwing the money up in the air. Like, this gangsters doing some gangster shit at night.
Yeah. They never say the year when it's supposed to be taking place. And I was the whole time watching, I'm trying to remember without Googling, like, when was the emancipation of slavery? You know what I mean? Because like that'll put kind of, I mean, I'm assuming this is late 1800s,
right?
You know what I mean? Maybe even, super early 1900s.
Yeah, totally could be. I mean,
you had cities and prisons and all kind of, you know what I mean? I mean, I guess like colonial America was, what was that, 1500s?
Yeah, and still not even much though. Like, man, I mean, we see pretty much every town that they go into is literally like the town on Back to the Future 3. Yep. Like that's what I think of when I think of
nowhere.
Yeah, and it's like just one like street, and it's just like a handful of businesses. Got your saloon, maybe you got a blacksmith, some shit like that. Nobody lives in town. Like maybe you live kind of close, but like the middle of town is just where all the businesses are.
It is crazy too, because it's like I always, when I'm watching this show, I'm like, how the fuck do they get everywhere? Just by horse, for real? Like, I guess like you ride the train as far as you can go. You know what I mean? I'm like, it's just a trip, bro. They cover a lot of ground. They just sleep somewhere.
Red Dead Redemption.
About a 3-day ride.
Hey, Red Dead Redemption, man. We've all played it before. Seems like you're riding forever on that damn horse, but you get there. You get there. And one of the people that we meet when we get into Stagecoach Mary's saloon or whatever is Cuffee.
Okay.
At the door. Gangster chick who's at the door.
Yeah.
And it's funny because like, just small little tomboyish chick, you know, and it's funny. Tells Nat Love to check his iron. He does. He throws it up there, and then it's the next two guys who's like, "We ain't checking nothing." Whoops both of their asses real quick. Take their asses to the sheriff. They don't get their guns until they leave town.
Ooh.
And it's crazy that that's how it was back then. You know, it's open carry. You get in trouble, you got to leave town. You get your guns back, but you got to leave town.
I mean, shit. You know what I mean? Everybody got a 6-shooter on them. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's ready to get it popping.
Hell yeah. And yeah, we get so funny. I forget his the right hand man who comes in when he's hanging out in Mary's room. Mary tells Cuffee, go tell him to get cleaned up. Says where the room's at and all that. They start making out. They're about to get down to biz, and his friend comes in. Oh, y'all was making with the sex. I'm sorry.
Cockblock.
Oh man, so ridiculous.
That shit had me dying. I ain't gonna lie.
Man, is it not like a cowboy thing? In like every single cowboy movie ever, it's like the man comes to like the woman. You don't know if they know each other or not, and then just bow, punch right in the face because they did him dirty somewhere along the way. Every cowboy movie has that in it.
Hell yeah. I mean, even in Shanghai Nights or Shanghai Noon, Roy O'Bannon, he show up at the whorehouse and they're all mad at him. They all like him, but they're all mad at him. Yeah, but he done ran through all of them.
Oh man, and yeah, so we just a little bit more backstory on a few different things. Then that's when they get what the hell is that character's name? But it's Damon Wayans Jr. What's his name? Monroe Grimes. He shows up at the at Stagecoach Mary's place. They snatch him up. Then they start asking him all these questions and everything. And he said, Rufus Buck's about to get out. Bullshit. Oh, he's about to get out. Doesn't know how, doesn't know when. But he knows he's about to get out.
They're like, what the fuck?
Just
and
so
it just sends shivers through everybody, bro.
Yeah.
You can mention the name of Rufus. The most ruthless.
And their whole gang, too. Because, man, Cherokee Bill, I mean, he's already got the shout out in that second scene. Dude talking about being like the fastest gun in the West. Oh, you ain't as fast as Cherokee Bill.
Ooh, Cherokee Bill's a fast motherfucker though. Dang, and it's crazy because see that I love how even that dude got the rep. You know what I mean? Hold on, my girl's pulling up.
Got the rep for the fastest gun in the West, the most rootinest, tootinest. And yeah, that's all. He's so pissed about that too. I can't even remember what his name is to save my life right now. But he's always getting hella pissed because every time he talks about how fast he is, every single time they bring up Cherokee Bill, he's the most. He's the most notorious quick draw.
They're trying to build it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're trying to build it up to be a you know what I mean, an epic showdown at one point. I like that though.
Yeah.
Because that's how it was in the old West, right? Yeah, like it was all reputation, and that's why motherfuckers. It was imperative you let one of the motherfuckers live.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, today's Friday.
So of course, now that we hear about Rufus Buck about to get out, of course, next thing we do is we pan to the Rufus Buck gang, and we just see them just heading towards a train. It's the train and them just heading towards the same spot. It looked like they're like 9 or 10 deep is what it is. And you see, it's Regina King, Trudy Smith, Pam, BDB is heading up. She's leading the whole pack. And
gangster.
Hell yeah. Like what'd you think about how there's no other way to stop the train, right? Like you have to get in front of the train. How would you stop it?
I mean, shit. See, that's how gangster it is, though. I mean, like, you're like, all right, we're going to put their humanity in question here because they're either going to run me over or they're going to stop that shit. But she was willing to take that risk, though. You know what I mean?
And even then, as far away as it is, you can kind of see. I mean, it still looks like
you got to start the process, though. You know what I mean?
Well, when you hear you hit the you know, when you hear it start, I mean, it's still a little bit of ways. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, they could have moved in time.
Well, they had to stop the stopping process that way back there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's like, boom, putty in my hands, just as we planned.
Hell yeah, Noble Creation said such a G in this movie. Hell yeah, she runs it.
Hell yeah.
Because yeah, it's not like I don't know. It's
He's
not
basically the right hand man.
Yeah, because her and Rufus, I mean, you know, you can tell there's definitely something going on there.
They're an item, quote unquote.
I mean,
ride or die.
I mean, yeah, it's really like it almost doesn't even seem like that though. Maybe they didn't have a label on it or something, but yeah, it just seems like she's almost like the mom of the gang. You know, like they kind of needed someone to keep them in line a little bit, someone to organize. She's obviously hella smart with the way she's orchestrating stuff. Organizer.
Yeah. Facilitator.
Yeah, and then we get I mean, what I think is damn near, I mean, one of the best scenes in the movie. Cherokee Bill coming on there to, you know, we do not like violence, but you are in the presence of violent people. Explaining what's going on, who they are. And then, of course, we get a hero. There's always a hero. And, man, it's funny. Puts his fists up like he's going to fight. Wants to see it. And he was ready to. Ducks him. Snatches the knife like 6 times. Just 3 on each leg real quick on the insides of his legs. He's done. That guy's done.
You got a major artery right there, too.
Yeah.
Around that area. So he probably knows his anatomy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I mean, shit's gonna be hard. Gonna be hard to stand up if you got cuts all over the inside of your legs. Not gonna be able to stand up. And it's funny. The rest of the gang, nobody says anything besides Cherokee Bill and Trudy. But you see the rest of the gang, like they're just like making little motions at him, like what's up? I'm about to fuck you up, and just like all the way making sure everyone scared shitless. Right. They go into the next car. How old do you think that kid is with the gun? Think he's like just barely enlisted, 18 years old?
Yeah, I was about to say he's probably like adolescence.
Yeah,
that's what you consider like 17 to like 20-ish.
Yeah, I'm sure you could be in some type of. I'm sure you could be somewhere holding a gun when you're 16 back then.
I mean, yeah, it's the West, right? It's the old West.
And it's his dad that we find out who's like the main lieutenant here, who they're all kind of after, who's running the show.
Yep. So the kid was raised in it.
Yep. This kid had some balls on him. They asked. They finally got him to lower his gun because there's way too many of him. He's got one gun. He's about to be done. And Trudy asked him, "How many officers you got over there?" 30. He clocks the gun. 10. Idiot. And man, everything in this movie is like build up and anticipation. And now we just know that we got about 8 gangsters on one side of it. You know, you got about 10 lawmen on the other side of this door. You don't even know what's necessarily going on. I mean, at this point, I don't even know if we know if this is the Rufus Buck gang. I mean, maybe in the what's it called, in the credits, it kind of shows their pictures, show who the Buck gang is. But Cherokee Bill, he's real calm this entire time. You know, he's got like a swag about him that you know, he's the guy who can talk. He could shoot his way out of anything, but I bet he talks his way out of a lot of stuff like as well. Makes it easier for him to pull the gun on people too.
Yep. I was going to say he's a finesser.
Yeah. So explaining everything to the guy. Oh yeah, we got one of your soldiers out here, and we're gonna be coming in there. You got something that we want. We got something you want. You got something that we want. And it's like, you better let him go. And Trudy just shoots him right in the shoulder, like right there. Didn't even wait for nothing.
Shut the fuck up. Hey, Pam's hella hard in this joint.
Hell yeah. Starts talking more. Shoots him right in the leg. It's like, hey, you know I like my countdowns. Come on. I like them. About to ruin his countdown. But he counts it all the way down from 10, and they open the door. They open it, and they come in. They got the kid there. Everyone's got their guns. They get them to lower the guns and everything. They're listening. These lawmen, they're listening because they got the kinfolk there.
Yeah.
Then we get the whole story right now that we got Rufus Buck in a cage being transported from one prison to another, and General George Price pardoned him if they go and they kill a lieutenant, a shady lieutenant, and his men who went. They robbed. What did they do? They robbed silver from a town and they killed everybody, including the women and children. Man, and see, and like they're the criminals, right? Like, I mean, that was one of the first things he said. What are you doing, criminal? I'm not a criminal, sir. And but that's the first thing. They're the criminals, right? But like these lawmen are the ones going and killing a whole bunch of women and children just to steal some silver. Shady business.
That's just how I mean, you know what I mean? People feel entitled and shit. Like they could do things and other people can't. Like they're exempt. Fuck that.
And seeing what's crazy about this and this scene just in general, all the criminals and cowboys, those are all the black folks, right? Yep. All the lawmen, those are all the white folks. And that's really what it was, right? Like back then, I mean, that's why, I mean, you even said in the beginning, this probably is one of the most realistic adaptations of any cowboy movie, because it was all the black folks and the brown folks.
Yeah, they're the outlaws.
Yeah.
Because you just weren't accepted. So, you know what I mean? You had to take that shit.
By any means necessary.
I mean, even in the white with the white folks, bro, like their prejudice against the Irish in the beginning as well, and the Italians. Like that's why people like Gangs in New York. That was another one of those historic pieces that was pretty. They took historic figures and kind of wrote, some of it's fiction. But anyway, my point is, you know what I mean? They would everything was like a gang, bro. Even like the different firemen. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
the Irish firemen, and they would go to war with fucking the other firemen who's gonna put the building out. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah, man. And this scene, yeah, we got to do it the justice and just explain it. I wish we could show it, but YouTube hates us if we if we show the clips. But yeah, it's funny. The lieutenant, he doesn't like at first. He doesn't want to do nothing. They tell him to open it. He's like, I can't do that. So Cherokee Bill's got to take out the gun, shoot someone real quick, get his attention. Then they pull out the full pardon, show him what's up, and they got to open it. And man, it's like 40 minutes into the movie, 35, 40 minutes into the movie, and we finally see Rufus Buck, Idris Elba. Man, it's a real iconic moment in the movie, and just everything. Like we're talking about, this is like any movie that we've seen. I mean, like I think of like Hannibal Lecter when he's like coming out, like any of these notorious reveals of whoever is just like the craziest.
Oh, like like in Hannibal, he's like, "Hello, Clarice."
Yeah, it's like one of the craziest motherfuckers alive. So notorious, and man, he comes out, they take off the shackles, and man, just kicks that shit out of the way. You can tell some heavy ass chains.
Fuck yeah, I'm throwing some fatty.
And the lieutenant's about to start talking. He tells him to shut up. Gets shot right away, like he should.
Yeah,
scumbag.
Get the job done.
Who here can drive a train? So they needed to see who could do it. They only needed one person, whoever can get this train the hell out of there now, because now it needed to move. And it's that kid. Out of all these people, it's that young ass kid is the one that could drive the train, and that's it.
Yeah, everybody else got to die.
Yeah, that's all he says. Everybody but him starts walking, and man, it's such a good song. That's probably why we get flagged too. Because that song just goes like super hard. What's that song? It's Shine and Barrington Levy, right?
Yeah. But fucking what's that song called? I mean, you can just look it up, Shine and Barrington, then you'll find it. But that shit goes hard. That was like, it was funny because like, Shine was a real dope like lyricist, you know what I mean? But then like, he gets with Bad Boy and he kind of has the tonality of a Biggie, so they kind of try to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was kind of weird.
Yeah.
Good song though.
super wild. And then it just gets into it. And this might be one of the first pieces that give us the Quentin Tarantino-esque type of feel. Because everybody but him, and then it cuts into slow motion. Everyone starts shooting in every fucking direction possible. But Rufus Buck with his slow stroll out. Every bullet is going in front of him or behind him. Every bullet casing that's dropping is just dropping to the side of his feet as he walks. And man, what a fucking scene. What?
Yeah. Everybody but him.
Hell yeah. Alex said badass movie. What up, Kyle? He said great movie, guys. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. Kyle said been running the Marvel universe now.
Okay. Yeah, it's crazy. There's like 20 some movies now, bro. I think they kind of hit a little brick wall there, especially with the writer's strike and stuff. Like, kind of put a lot of things to a stall. Then now the Jonathan Majors thing, because they're trying to switch gears, because he was like going to be like the next fucking 10 years, basically. Yeah. Next, you know what I mean? The next 2 phases he was going to be the big bad. So now they're trying to switch to Dr. Doom or something. I don't know. They're going to figure something out. Because I think Jonathan Majors is going to trial.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's going to trial. I think it's next September, I think. Or he might be in trial already now. I don't know.
Yeah, we're going to hear about this. And Crispy, this movie, 2021. So just movie's 2 years old. And it's a Netflix movie. So you'll be able to see it on Netflix.
We'll be right back.
Yep. And then, the final part that, right after, they got the whole montage. And then you see the train, taking off. And then it's their whole gang. I think it's 9 of them. They're just right there looking at the train, looking off into the sunlight. And man, what an epic scene. And that's how we're going to end act number 1 here. We got 3 acts to go. If you guys are not following the audio version of the podcast, Silver Screen Breakdowns, go follow on Apple, on Spotify. Leave us a 5-star review. We'll read out your review live. And we got act number 2 coming along right here on the Silver Screen Breakdowns podcast and on the Silver Screen's Great Breakdown movie YouTube channel. Everything drops Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So if you missed any parts of it, you can go check out each act individually and make sure you're going and downloading the episodes. Make sure that you are going and hitting the like button on the YouTube videos as well, because it helps new people find us. All right, we're going to jump over to act number 2, and Bogey will be there on the other side. Here we go. Peace out, everybody.
Silver screen emoji picture shit. This ain't a dream, we really lit this shit. Don't intervene, yo, we with this shit. That's where the most high